Welcome to the Film Review Podcast, an official podcast of FilmBook. The Film Review Podcast is a movie review and analysis podcast on the latest theatrically released films, streaming, and film festival movies.
Hello everyone, and welcome back. Today I will be reviewing the film The Watchers. The Watchers is directed by Ishana Night, written by A.M. Shine and Ishana Night, and stars Dakota Fanning, Georgina Campbell, Olwen Fouere, Oliver Finnegan, and Alistair Brammer. This is a The Watchers movie review and there will be spoilers. If you like our movie reviews, please like this The Watchers film review as that helps us out with YouTube's algorithm, and consider subscribing. Once subscribed, click the bell icon to receive notifications of new reviews. Please also consider becoming one of our patrons on Patreon at patreon.com/filmbook. And now, The Watchers movie review. The conclusion of The Watchers feels like something out of a needlessly complex book rather than a first feature film from a potentially up-and-coming director. That's probably due to the fact that this new supernatural thriller is in fact based on a book by A.M. Shine. This new film, The Watchers, begins promisingly like many horror movies do, and then transcends into something interesting before going off the rails at the end with an overly complicated conclusion. But the twist that the movie ultimately provides is that the film is not much of a horror film at all. The film looks great and has some good acting, but the storyline takes the viewer unexpected places in a haphazard fashion. But right now the jury is still out on whether Ishana Night, the director of The Watchers, can make a twisty film as good as her dad, M. Night Shyamalan, can. As far as Ishana is concerned, at least for the time being, it seems The Watchers doesn't have the cinematic flair that Daddy Shyamalan's early thrillers possessed. The plot of The Watchers is almost all surprises, but some can be revealed because the trailer unveils the movie's basic overall premise. Set in Ireland, Mina is a young girl who winds up transporting a large parrot from one point to another. Mina, unfortunately, gets stuck in the woods when her car breaks down. Then she goes a bit further from the road on foot and walks deeper into the woods and turns around only to discover her car has disappeared. An older woman named Madeline turns out to be inviting and asks Mina to join her and two other people in a house to escape from some monsters who are, you guessed it, watching her. The other two eccentric characters who reside with Madeline are Chiara and Daniel. Mina is an artist who lost her mom over a decade ago and has deep-seated issues that only exist in movies or books such as this one. Mina seems to come to care somewhat for Madeline, Chiara, who yearns for her husband, and Daniel, but Mina is also primarily concerned with saving herself from harm, of course. The big scene has the four central characters lining up inside the house, and they are placed strategically in the view of the monsters who come out at night and are known as the Watchers. In the interim, Madeline fills Mina in on everything that she needs to know regarding the logistics of living in the woods. There is a reveal where a secret door appears on the floor that may remind one of the floorboards that hid the big secret of M. Night Shyamalan's masterpiece, The Village. The Watchers doesn't really work at all when compared to Ishana's dad's biggest thrillers. However, you don't expect a character to appear at the end of The Watchers with wings. In the end, the big secret of The Watchers is more intriguing to think about than it is in the film's execution of it. Dakota Fanning is serviceable in her role here. She carries around the parrot from time to time, which actually manages to prove to be a pivotal character in the film. Olwen Fouere is always intriguing, and her mysterious role here is no exception. Georgina Campbell plays second fiddle to Fanning and doesn't have the type of meaty role she had in the far superior Barbarian, which established Campbell as an up-and-comer. Finnegan is weird in the way he performs here, but he is also strangely fascinating to watch as he overacts convincingly. Too bad, almost all these characters lack development and feel flatly written though. There were a lot of lofty themes explored in The Watchers which will disappoint those expecting a straight horror film. The movie is certainly thought-provoking, but it is more psychological than scary, although the overall concept is initially frightening from the outset. But the major twist of the movie wouldn't really be such a big twist if the name Shyamalan weren't attached to the project. Apparently, the filmmakers of The Watchers don't want too much of the plot revealed in reviews. The success of The Watchers at the box office will depend mostly on audiences not knowing anything about the film's second half, where it unveils its surprises. but the surprises lack the punch that Ishana's dad's movies had back in the late 90s, the early 2000s, etc. There's not much else to say about the needlessly complex plot revelations of The Watchers. It's only fair to keep this review short for people who actually want to see the film and want to know if Ishana can follow in her father's footsteps. This film doesn't answer many questions about Ishana's talents. She needs to fully write her own script next time so we can figure out if she can one day be a master of suspense. Though her dad doesn't get that kind of praise that much anymore, given the mediocrity of films he's done lately, like the twistless Knock at the Cabin. The biggest mystery is why Dakota Fanning was attracted to a film with the generic-sounding title The Watchers. There's a lot going on in the film in some ways, but the movie is still light on substance beyond the basic essentials which laid the foundations for its existence. And that brings us to the conclusion of this The Watchers movie review. I would love to hear your thoughts on it below in the comments section. If you liked what you heard during this review, please like this video and subscribe to this channel. Please also visit and subscribe to our podcast channel at FilmBook Podcast. If you would like to get FilmBook's articles delivered to your inbox, sign up for our daily newsletter or download our Android mobile app for instant notifications. You'll find links to both in the description. Thanks for dropping by, and I'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening to the Film Review Podcast. Find more of the Film Review Podcast on FilmBook, on all major podcast services, and on YouTube at FilmBook Podcast.